first start? Why don't we introduce ourselves since there's new people here, or one, to the panel.
I'm Lisa Hart. I'm the Finance Committee.
You're the new member.
Eric Hart, and I'm the new member of Finance Committee.
Welcome. Thank you for stepping up.
Yes, thank you. I'm Nate Sides. I'm a new full member, sort of, but not really.
Marilyn Brown.
Susan also. Okay, so at the first meeting after the election, you reorganize. And so we open the floor to nominations for chairman.
Don't look at me.
We have no nominations, we're done.
Are you gonna do it? I'm gonna nominate Nate.
Well,
Are you,
you don't have to do it if you don't want to.
No, I understand that.
Yeah. Would you?
I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know.
What happens if there's no chair?
there's a chair.
Why don't you if you're willing to accept the nomination, and then we won't just throw you to the wolves.
Or if you don't want to, seriously, let's have a vice chair this year, and seriously, everything that happens, you learn how to do, because otherwise
That's fine. I have no problem with that.
which is your preference?
The vice chair.
Okay.
And and have it be like a transition thing. I mean, I have no problem with that.
But seriously, when stuff needs to be done, because I know that you're tempted to just kind of do the stuff you've always done, and it's
Right.
hard to
Right.
sometimes.
But we'll
Pass it
be a
along.
concerted effort. All right. Well, so then somebody has to nominate the chair.
So then I change my nomination to nominate Sue.
Second that.
Are there any other nominations?
You have to take minutes for the beginning.
She does not.
Somebody has to take these nominations down. Should I be taking them down? I'm not the secretary
You
yet.
are in.
Well, give me some paper.
Okay. If there's no other nominations, then
Nate.
I'm the only person nominated as chair, and so all in
Chair.
favor,
Aye.
abstaining or not voting. Okay. So now that I'm the chair, I'm taking the meeting over. And I'm going to open the floor to nominations for secretary next week. Make sure we have all our minutes done.
I nominate Lisa Hart.
Second.
Third,
Nate.
Marilyn.
Lisa. Marilyn. This is secretary. See? The notes I
Well,
take?
No, we nominated you. then.
Marilyn and Nate nominated
Oh,
Lisa
me.
for
Oh,
secretary.
I see, okay. All right, all in favor?
See, first,
Aye.
second.
Opposed or abstaining? So do you want to be, do we have a vice chair?
We
Why
can
don't why don't
create
we
the
just
position.
do it?
Why don't we
Yeah, why don't we
create?
do it?
Yeah, I nominate Nate for vice chair.
I am
Second.
second. Oh, Eric second, good.
Yay.
So excited.
Your first thing, yeah.
Ah.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's
Okay,
Nate,
so now we're reorganizing.
vice chair. So if you decide to quit halfway through the year, somebody who's gonna do it.
Don't give her any ideas.
Next week? I don't have a copy of the agenda. Is this stuff that was in the box?
Yes, this was the box.
Okay. Oh, we have minutes from May 18th to approve,
We have, both.
and we can't, I didn't post
We didn't
this.
post that, so this one we'll have to keep.
That's the capital.
CIPC.
So I don't know if you know, Eric, that the members of the Finance Committee, under the town's bylaws, are also the town's capital improvement planning committee. So
Which
you're
is
you're
good news,
actually.
because you get paid twice as much.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And you get
What's
to.
2 times 0
and
again?
it's 2 things on your resume, and you only have to go to 1 meeting for it, but.
True.
But I didn't post it, so we're not legally, whenever we post the first meeting, we'll reorganize that committee, but we can't approve those minutes because,
We're not
can't.
that committee yet.
because the meeting's not posted, yeah. So we have the minutes from.
I was just going to make a motion to accept those as presented.
There's a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining?
What were those minutes dated?
May
May
18th.
5/18.
It was the night of town meeting. So now, and then we have some,
You can approve minutes even when you're not there?
He
I
did.
don't know, does he have to abstain from that last vote?
no, it's an administrative action.
Okay.
I mean, if you didn't read the minutes, you might want to abstain, but it doesn't say. We have a number of reserve fund transfers that we're gonna make. How much you wanna make the motion, so it's,
Sure.
it's a move to, from the reserve fund to this budget line and that amount for that, or whatever.
Okay. Make a motion that we transfer, is that the amount of money? Where is we, transfer $2,900 from the reserve fund to the Board of Health, budget line number 285.
285?
It's for additional hours for health agents, unforeseen additional expense.
Is there a second?
Second, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So, Eric, what we're doing now is,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
at the end of the year, when people have spent more than was originally budgeted, we have one account called the reserve fund that we put money into, that money can be transferred to a budget line from that. Once their budget is completely spent. So even if they have some unforeseen expense come up in the middle of the year, they have to use up their regular budget before they can start hitting the reserve fund.
Gotcha.
And the fiscal year ends on June 30th, so that's why these are coming up now.
Okay.
I move that we transfer from the reserve fund $1,473 to the accountant, budget line 200, for additional hours for night meetings and town meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstaining? You have to say aye.
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 You have to speak.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I move that we transfer from the reserve fund the sum of $9,012.02 to legal, line 260, for a shortfall.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstaining.
Why?
I don't know. Isn't that when you don't know what's?
Yeah,
It's
but these
Yeah,
are
but
actually
these are
for-
just,
the accountant
I mean-
has asked us to do this in order so she can get things closed out, so
Okay.
we would generally accommodate her requests, or these budget requests.
All right,
so even though you don't quite understand how they spent down their budget, we're trusting that the accountant's telling us these budgets are spent down and they've gone over on legal, so we're gonna move the money for them.
Gotcha.
You can abstain if you want, it's fine. If you feel like you want to know more, it's absolutely.
Lisa, the last one was dated 6/2016,
there's
because
two-
this one, which is an application for transfer from the reserve fund of the sum of $10,303.03 to legal, budget line 260, for a shortfall. Yeah.
Is there a second?
Nate?
Second.
It's one I can just cut and paste.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. What was the date on that second one?
This was
please?
6/13.
Okay, so that's the
Yeah,
first one.
that was the first one, yeah.
And, okay.
How much is the legal, how much is that line normally?
I think we budget 40.
$20,000 short.
Well, I was gonna say,
I
we just
know,
approved
I know.
$19,000. That
Right.
seems like,
That's a large
Was it,
amount.
but was it something big that just came up? I mean, because,
There's been a lot of legal issues.
There's been a
this year.
lot, yeah.
It's, the thing is, if you, in a year when we don't have a lot of legal issues, we don't, and then this can be, and I don't know what they are, some of them are executive session stuff, but.
You can read these, would you like to see them?
I'm kind of curious to see.
Yeah.
is that this year's budget?
It's a budget. Oh, yeah, it's an early version of it. Where's it?
I was just wondering what we approved for legal.
Where's
There are a lot of lines in the budget.
$47,000.
47,000, okay.
Unemployment, legal, they're things that you don't know what's gonna happen. You have no idea how much legal you're gonna
Right.
need. If somebody goes for unemployment, we had a couple of years where we really had hit problems with that. But we tend, when we're in a budget cycle, to not overfund those lines as long as we have enough money in the reserve fund.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, money that you could be spending someplace where you know you need it might be sitting there and not be needed.
Right.
So,
When you do overfund it, does that extra money go into the reserve fund afterward?
no.
No,
When they close out the fiscal year, it eventually ends up as free cash. Which
Yeah,
is-
it goes into like a pool that has to be approved by the
approved
state.
by the state, so it's
but
like a
that
year
money's actually
delay.
left over, and then if the following year, we would get that money. So that money can't be spent that fiscal year.
Right. But then when it does come back as free money, you could put it into the reserve fund, potentially.
At town meeting.
At town
At town
meeting.
meeting.
Money
Okay.
can only be appropriated at town meeting. by
Gotcha.
It's
voters.
always, I think it's wise always to be a little fiscally tight with budget lines rather than giving people, extra
Yeah.
money because that tends, if it's there, you don't want them to
Definitely.
tend to spend it, so. So we don't have a whole lot of money in this town to spend.
And I don't think the last couple of years hasn't been like this. I don't
No,
think.
we haven't had, no, I don't think we've had a real problem with legal. This is this is a lot over
Right,
the
and
budget.
as I said, Barbara sent me an email, she said one legal, I didn't know there was a second one coming, so if there's some concern, I don't remember the balance of the reserve fund, so I didn't exactly, I can look at it. Anyway, so I just want to say, I'll send everybody a copy of the budget that we voted and at the town meeting. And we're a member, I don't think we are this year, of the Association of Town Finance Committees. I don't think we ever got
I don't
the
remember
membership
seeing
thing.
no, I don't remember seeing one.
But I'll make sure we do, and they mail a disc with a book with information, and there's some trainings you can go to that will be paid for by here if you're interested and stuff. So,
Okay.
just because this is just a quick kind of cleanup, not cleanup, but end of the year meeting. Everything ready. I don't know if anybody has any comments about the town meeting. We haven't met since then, but I think that went pretty well.
I think so.
So the only other thing that came up in the last little bit here was, if you remember, there was an article in the town meeting warrant about selling land at Silver Lake, the Silver Lake
Yeah.
School District selling land to the town of Kingston for the town of Kingston to build a police station. And anything that Silver Lake owns is owned by the 3 member towns. And we own our percent of it, which this year is like 11%. So they had presented an article to sell the land. This committee voted not to support that article. And as it turned out, right before town meeting, the people working on that project, I guess, ran into some legal question anyway and asked us to not vote on it. So we didn't. So then they found out that they could file a home rule petition, which is the way we established the Capital Purposes Fund, which is legislation. And that legislation would allow the sale to go through with no votes from the towns. And that was what they were gonna do. And they got Tom Coulter, I believe, to sponsor the legislation. And then the next, apparently, and I haven't been updated, but I was now heard that Kingston delayed all its town meeting is in April, I think, and they delayed all their votes on money articles till June, and it failed at the Kingston town meeting.
Ah.
So now I don't know what's going on, and I don't know. I mean, I've gotten all this through email. I haven't verified it, and I don't know what happens. But I think we might. And so I was emailing a little bit with the selectmen about whether we want to weigh in at all to them then to Tom Coulter about how we feel about the legislation moving forward, given that it takes the towns out of the process and it's failed in Kingston. And I don't know if Kingston, so I don't know what's going on. So the selectmen have asked us if we would like to meet with them next Monday, so we can either post a meeting.
So, when did they start discussing? It just seems awfully convenient that they said, okay, let's not vote this at town meetings, and then all of a sudden it's going to this special legislation.
I thought there was a problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Apparently it's not a
they
problem.
didn't want the opinions of the
I
towns. It
think-
feels like.
I think that they had gotten feedback from Halifax and Plympton. I think it stood a very good chance of failing.
Right.
And I can't say what happened, but yeah, all of a sudden it's going through a process that doesn't require any votes.
So how would they set a price to go through the
For
home rule?
$250,000.
So they,
Yeah.
that price is established as part of the
It's
petition?
part of the, yeah.
Wow.
And I'm sure, I don't know any more than what I'm telling you. I've only gotten bits and pieces from different places and, so I guess the question is, do we want to meet with the selectmen next Monday and weigh in on it? Do we want to send them to say we voted against it, or, do we want to just offer feedback? I don't know what people's thoughts are.
Well, I think we should express an opinion.
I agree with that. I don't know if we need to come here to do that, but I think we should make our opinion known.
Yeah, this is like that other thing the school committees did that last time where we said, it's the process that's the real issue. I mean, whether we were going to support them selling the land or not is one thing. If we thought the price was too low or,
Right.
Whatever our decision, but it just feels like they took some kind of an end cut around us and
Yeah.
just found a way to do it without involving the towns.
Well, I think the whole way through, in truth, we never had a presentation, though one of our reps did offer to come in April, which it was too late for us. They never did a presentation to the town, to the selectmen. There supposedly is a big appraisal report, and a report about all different aspects of the land and being enough set aside for other uses at the school, which is my concern. I've never seen it. I don't know anyone who's ever seen it, and I feel like there's been a real communication failure. I don't even know who's advocate. I don't know if there's a committee in Kingston. I don't really even know who this is sponsored by. My understanding is that the vote, and I don't know this stuff for fact, I want to make that clear, that the vote to go to the home rule petition article was supported by the members from Kingston. One person abstained, and Maureen Springer from Plympton, and that was enough to push it over to a yes vote. So that, to me, that shows that there's other members that were clearly not in favor of it, at least from the Halifax and Plympton side. Some of our concerns were, okay, you're selling 5 acres of land that the 3 towns, and we'll never be able to buy additional land, and we don't know what the foreseeable needs are going to be. So if there's a study, that would have been great to see. I think also, and a member of the committee who's a realtor felt that the price was way too low. Never saw the appraisal report, so there's been a lot of concerns along the way. Speaking for myself, I would like that home rule petition to be withdrawn until some other, but I don't know if we have any right to ask that. I don't know what's happening. Or find, I guess we need an update at a minimum, so try to get an update, and then if the selectmen want to talk about it next Monday, I'll come talk to them. But I will represent everyone's.
Yeah.
I don't want to represent my own opinion.
Right.
Because I have a pretty strong opinion about what's going on.
It just kind of sounds sneaky, honestly. Them just completely circumventing
Absolutely.
everyone coming, the towns who
Right.
own it.
And we own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we would have no say.
Well, and I think
And it may be entirely legal.
I think we need to remind Tom Coulter that he represents us as
Oh,
well.
that's right.
Yeah.
He doesn't just represent Kingston, so
And
whether
he may
whether
not
that
be
comes
aware.
from the Board of Selectmen or from this committee, or, I don't know.
So what
It's more appropriate to come from the Selectmen,
I
obviously,
I
but.
think
And
at a minimum, we should hear why is Coulter supporting this? Tell us, what are the reasons for this? If maybe we
doing
could be
it this
convinced that
way.
it would be a great idea, but
Right.
so far, we're left in the dark.
What exactly did Kingston vote down?
I just,
Oh, okay.
again, I want to.
I didn't know if it was the police station in general or purchasing this land.
I think it's the funding for the police station, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
And again, and I don't know that Tom Coulter sponsored legislation, that's what somebody emailed to me, and I like to have facts, and I was away last week, I wasn't able to kind of sort this out, but, so maybe I'll try to sort the information out and,
The home rule petition is the thing that is getting me. Why do they suddenly need a home rule petition?
Because even though, like, we used a home rule petition to establish our capital purposes fund, but we had to go before town meeting and get that approved to do that. We couldn't just.
true.
Yeah, we couldn't just say, let's, yeah. Like, who's the,
Well,
I guess
maybe
the
'cause Silver Lake-
board, I guess maybe the school committee is the ruling board, I don't know.
Yeah. I
Whereas
was
the
gonna say
town
that
is
can-
ruling board.
But
of
it just seems, I mean, I agree with what you said earlier, it just seems like all of a sudden, they asked us not to vote because they didn't want to hear
Right.
the answer.
Mm.
And now all of a sudden they're doing an end around.
If that's true, yeah.
Yes, I'm guessing, but.
Okay, this is an email that was sent to a number of people that were forwarded to me. It says, "Good morning, just an update for those who may not have heard. Kingston voted no on the police project.
Oh.
Where this goes with the land will be interesting. We will keep everyone informed from the Silver Lake sign. Thanks, Maureen." I will point out that was not copied to the finance committee. It was sent to the selectmen and to
Well,
a
then
bunch
why,
of people
if
at Silver
Kingston
Lake.
says no, why are they even considering selling the land? If Kingston doesn't want to build a fire station, a police station.
I don't know. This is what I.
Maybe they're not, maybe that will kill the whole thing.
Well, they may just bring it back and try to fund it again and get the home rule petition done so they have the land. I don't know. That's why I think if the selectmen are still, I don't think the selectmen have ever discussed it, so I don't know what their position is. They may, in terms of the land sale. Here's the other email that was forwarded to me, again, not copied to me. "Good afternoon, I believe you are all aware, the town of Kingston approached the Silver Lake Regional School Committee over a year ago, hoping to have a parcel of land turned over to them to build a new police facility. All of our meetings were public as required by law. When Kingston brought this to Silver Lake, what was this now? The Silver Lake agreed to transfer our, over the past few months prior and after Plympton and Halifax town meetings, this matter has not moved forward due to the current Silver Lake Regional Agreement. Kingston representatives contacted Tom Coulter, who interceded on their behalf, bringing special legislation forward to allow Silver Lake to sell the land. Two legal versions of the legislation were presented to the committee last night at a regularly scheduled meeting. One version required a positive vote by our 3 towns to proceed with the transfer. The other version required only the positive vote of the town of Kingston. Silver Lake voted 7 yes, 6 no, 1 abstention to accept the legislation requiring only the town of Kingston receive a positive vote at their upcoming town meeting on 6/11. If the sale is approved, the payment of $250,000 will be divided between the towns according to their assessment. Kingston's share will be donated back. Additional blah blah blah. So that's so anyway, again, I don't know if we want to briefly meet on next Monday. If we don't, or I could try to get the information, come with my co-chair and meet with this. I'm just kidding.
I think I don't think I'm, anyway, I can come.
You could come.
Yeah.
And I have to check with them about whether they are available to me. But I think we need to participate in this because certainly there was 2 different ways to go, and.
Well, I think the loss of 5 acres to a high school, a regional school, is a significant concern. So, and to just be summarily not included in the vote is concerning. So I'm not in favor of this home rule petition.
Or if that was accurate, it certainly should have required a vote of the towns.
Yes, it should have,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so what do you think we should do? Just should I go run down and see if they want to meet next Monday? And like I said, I'm willing to come. I think I can come. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, we're meeting the Collins, there's a Collins Center meeting for anyone who wants to attend that. So we have Marilyn
Next-
sighing, next Monday. Christine Joy, our selectman, applied for and received grants that allowed us to hire the Collins Center, and they're helping us develop financial policy, a 5-year budgeting software, and a 5-year capital plan and software to do that, which we don't have any of that. So there's been a series of meetings, the next one of which is next Monday at 5:30. If anyone wants to attend. And so, anyway, shall I run down and ask the
Yeah.
selectmen? All right, okay, anybody can take it.
Well, we have more information, because,
Well, we try to get it.
right, because this sounded like if Kingston voted it down, that wouldn't happen.
Right.
But, you know, yeah, I guess see if they,
But it sounds like what they voted down was
Yeah.
not that at all.
at the
It
very,
was the-
yeah, and I
It might have been
think,
the funding.
The, yeah, the station
did-
itself.
Now, so why does the school want the authority to
Right.
sell the land?
Isn't it a moot point?
Not if you're gonna bring it back next year and think you just wanna have that piece wrapped up. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Let me just see if I can.
Okay.
I think at the very least, somebody needs to reach out to Tom Calta too. I mean, the
Right.
selectmen need to speak to him and say, you know, well, what's going on? Why would you cut the other two towns out?
Well, if the committee voted to proceed that way, that would be his instruction.
But he doesn't have to
He doesn't have
sponsor
to
it.
sponsor it.
it's
No, no, right. Right, hang on.
Want to read something from the accountant? This is, I think from the Collins Center. Did you guys go to that meeting, the last
I
one?
went to the last one, yeah.
I think this was in the box. There's 2 copies of it, and I'm assuming this is Jill, you good?
Well, they've certainly downgraded their quality of paper.
They're in the middle of a presentation, and I can't interrupt them, so, well, I'll just find out, I'll find out if they're planning to have that on their agenda. I'll let people know, yes or no, if we wanna post a meeting, or if a couple of us wanna come, or if they're not gonna put it on the agenda, or if it's a moot point, and then we can decide what to do. Does that seem reasonable?
Mm-hmm.
And the only other thing would be to set our next meeting date. I had emailed, generally, the closeout has to happen by July 15th. So we usually meet that week, again briefly, just to close things out and then sort of take the rest of the summer off. And I tried to check with Barbara if the 11th was a good date, which is a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we could pencil that in, and I did not hear back from her yet, as to what date she would like us, if that's a good date for her.
So if it wasn't the 11th, would it be the 18th?
Be too late.
I think it's too late, yeah.
It would be the 11th, that would be it.
Kind of has to be the 11th.
I think so, yeah, so we'll set that as the next date.
6 o'clock? 6 o'clock work?
Just
Gonna
6,
be
what
okay?
works for you, Aaron?
6 would be the earliest. I had to
6.
leave work early to get here today.
You do?
so, yeah,
Actually, to get here at 6, you have to leave early?
yeah, but it's not a big deal. My boss doesn't care.
Just a
Mhm.
little early, right?
Yeah, just like
10
10 minutes.
Oh,
away.
okay, if
Yeah,
you don't care,
no.
I think 6 would be good. Okay, 6 o'clock, on the 11th, and I'll let you know about next week.
We should just, before we adjourn, just, there were 2 copies of, I guess, your last Collins Center meeting, the agenda
Oh.
and the handouts, and if anybody wants a copy of those. There was, yeah, you can keep that, Eric, if you want to. I'll show you where I file my papers when I go home.
Are these the minutes?
There's a spreadsheet of EMS and fire department through the end of April, showing where their run rates are. Oh, they're running for,
Well, should our fire department liaison?
We haven't voted that yet.
Well, we haven't reassigned them, because we're in this, we haven't done
we don't
anything.
usually do that, we don't usually do that right now, right away. And then the only other thing here is a letter to the departments, boards, and committees from the town accountant. Just a reminder, we're coming to the end of the fiscal year. All payrolls must be submitted by Tuesday, July 5th for June 30th. All expense warrants must be submitted by July 18th.
Oh, July 18th.
Reminder that no dues or meetings, you can't pay for things from the 16 budget for 17. And the mileage has been changed from 57.5 cents to 54 cents per mile as of January 1st, which will go in effect as of FY17.
If she's telling them July 18th, she may want us to meet after I don't know if she'll have all the information to
Well,
go
that
out.
is the 18th. The last one would be the 18th. Well, why don't we assume the 11th unless
And yeah.
you let us know.
The 18th is a Collins Center meeting from 5:30 to 7:30, so we couldn't really meet that night anyway. Unless, if all we have to do is approve line transfers, 3 of us can meet at 5 o'clock and vote it. It doesn't have to be a full committee meeting.
Right.
If we're not doing conducting any business. The only other thing, we can maybe, I'll do it at the next meeting, but we had talked about, it was a number of things over the course of the year that we thought about wanting to do this year differently, like separating out salary lines. There's a number of those things, and I think we ought to meet at some point and go through them and get a memo out to people like in September. This is how we're gonna do it. You have to start thinking about this process differently. Right now.
Why don't we set one of our first fall meetings, like right after the summer? Let's make that what the meeting's about, because we won't really have a lot of other stuff to discuss at that time. Let's really look at what we did last year and try and come up with some changes that we want for this year. And like you said, we'll send a memo out right away and
Just
let people know
And I
what
can't
we're
really
looking at for-
remember all of them, so there was other stuff too. Oh, I think we were talking about in certain budgets, like only having a equipment supply, only
One
being not in
line.
different lines of the budget, and
Right.
just sort of cleaning up some of what our budget looks like. So, okay, we do that in September. Do we wanna set a September meeting now, or just wait and we do it later?
July, August, September, Labor Day's on the 5th. The 12th?
It's fine with me, 12th to the 19th. Does anybody have anything? You don't have anything? You know? He doesn't have to look.
He never has
I don't plan
anything.
that far ahead.
No, no, I don't think anybody is. Right. When does school start? Before that.
Yeah, before Labor Day. Does that look good?
So that's the
Tentatively?
12th
Does the 12th look all right for people?
Yep.
so far.
Okay, so we'll plan on the 12th. And, you know, if we need any meetings about other stuff, we can,
Right, schedule in between.
I guess maybe it wouldn't, why don't we go back to that subject about Silver Lake in case we don't have a quorum at
Right.
next Monday, and I would entertain a motion that the finance committee would like to let our representative know that we feel the town has to be involved in the decision-making. Is that like
I think that's reasonable.
or however people want to word it?
Let Rev know town involved in decision making.
Well, FinCom feels that way.
Right,
We're
we're gonna make
Not
a,
happy with the process as it's unfolded.
somebody gonna make that motion?
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining? Okay, so that way we have a motion.
Yeah, we got a position, so.
All right, does anybody have anything else? At some point, we need to get the computer, you're a computer person. We need to get this computer kind of organized.
Still not working?
Oh, I don't know, I haven't touched it since I meeting. It's just been sitting there.
Yeah, okay.
We had a little computer fiasco at the end of the year.
Gotcha.
But we were using it for town meeting.
Right, but it's not password protected, you can't log in remotely.
Oh,
so,
well, those
you
kind of
know,
things.
Yeah, so we just, and it's weird the way it's set up, so we might wanna take a look at that. But we can do that later, because it's summertime. Okay, I will entertain a motion to
So moved.
adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
You-
Aye.